Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one is going to be my preview on the Miz. So he's a modern era defensive technician. I love the red gear. I think it looks awesome. Also, I'm a bit of a Miz mark. I think he's very, very good at what he does. So probably a little bit of bias in here. Anyway, modern era defensive tech. He has the raw link. Any color move starts with 1 more MP. Miz and Mherex gems do 50% more damage, and modern era gems do 5% more damage. The stock must see superstar gear. He's a coach. 6-star silver, snowfall gems do 100% more damage, and red moves that deal damage will deal 40% more damage. This is a really good one. Anytime you see special gems with 100% on the coach, that's great. The fact that there's extra is also great. So really solid coach. So like the coach ability for him a lot. I love the red gear. I think it looks awesome. We're going to start off with the sub build set. Miz is really straightforward. Um, Kind of basically 3 distinct movesets as far as I see it. I'm sure there's possibly other stuff. One thing I do want to point out is I am not going to use the flowing DDT. 7 MP, deal 45k damage, make 30 multiply gems into yellow gems. The reason is there's also this 7 MP big boot, 498k damage, and make 40 gems into yellow gems. This does 40. This does 30. 40, 30. So this is just basically a throwaway move. Don't really see any reason to use it. If you were thinking like a triple green that didn't reset that like flooded the board with yellows, and then you used the Sheik plate the second time around and didn't reload, it's just not there, right? Like there's no reason. This move like just isn't good comparatively. So there's really no reason to use it. So we'll start with that. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna use the big boot. Spam the board with 40 yellow gems, 7 MP. Discus punch, 7 MP yellow, 234k damage. Choose a 6x1 area to swap into green gems. Hardcore. This hardcore move is not really gonna be super great, as far as I see it. He doesn't put a lot of snowfall gems out in general, so minimal use, right? But it is somewhat beefy when it hits 686k damage and then 378k damage for every snowfall gem. I guess it's nice to have, but like don't really count on it, and it's not a huge difference maker like a lot of the hardcore moves are. Figure 4 leg lock, 8 submission gems, generate 29 random submission gems and do 330k damage for 3 turns. Remaining turn into multiply gems of strength 3. It gives him a little bit of a Grayson Waller vibe with the sub, with a bunch of multiplies into spamming the board. Reload's harder than Waller, of course, but it does have that vibe to it. So if you like that kind of Waller gameplay, you'll probably like this build set. Also, the 8 MP on the sub is a bit rough. For example, you can't load it without Santa and Feud. You could do the 6x1 and then do a 3 swipe and load it, or like put a green to yellow plate on. I think that's heavy machinery. If not, it's the other one. But then that takes away the Ronda's jacket ability. Entourage for this one, we got Strowman for 2 yellow, 1 multiply. Kofi for 4 yellow, that gives us 6. Santa gives us 7. Our turn in Feud would give us 8. And then Gunther is multiply gems do 60% more damage. New Brett would be better. He would be 35 in yellow and 35 multiply. So New Brett would definitely be better in this case than Gunther. You could also use Memrock. I do think Brett would probably be better because we're throwing so many yellows than Memrock as well. But especially at gold. Anyway, that's the moveset. Strap, we're going to start off with a 20%er and no plates. Fury 2, move damage percentage. So yeah. I will say, because most of his stuff is multiply gem based, straps and plates make a huge difference, especially extrapolating to gold for that. So Miz is really a tale of two tales. He has he'll look a certain way with a 20% strap and no plates, and he'll look significantly different with a big strap. Significantly. So yeah, anyway, if you have the Santa for the 8 MP, you just start off with the sub, drain their MP. Razor's one of those guys that can load his sub on a 3 match, so he's not ideal to go against when you're using a sub guy. And of course, you got a 5 match. So that means I'll probably cascade here. We'll find out. It's not looking good, folks. Woo, that was close. And then we're gonna blow most of the board up with yellows. And you're gonna see 9 million damage, which doesn't look crazy. We did end up winning. But it doesn't look crazy, right? I think, is Razor a bronze? I think that's a problem. I'll just go against a powerhouse, to be honest, even though it's a class advantage. I don't like what I have unlocked on the road for options currently. So go against Otis, and I'll run it again. It's gonna do basically the same thing. It's gonna look way better with a Rhonda's jacket and like 100% strap. That's just the way all of these multiply builds are gonna go. Which I'll put a bigger strap on at the end. But I will put Rhonda's jacket on for this too. Just so you guys could see, because a lot more people, I would say, have a Rhonda's jacket than 100% strap. So, yeah, obviously, well, maybe not obviously for everyone, but the 11 mil there. The multiply gems just scale huge with straps and plates in particular. All right. I probably should have hovered over the multiply so you could see the difference. Because basically, Rhonda's jacket, it would be like putting 100% strap equipped him. So maybe I won't need to for this one. And you can basically get the difference, so... We did 9 million, 11 million. You're going to get variance because of how many yellows are... how many multiplies are left on the board. There it is. Whenever you generate 3 or more sub gems, increase your yellow and black gem damage by 100% for 2 turns. The nice thing about and this is what you would do to load the green move. That's why I'm doing it, by the way. I didn't say that the first time around. And we don't have any yellows to compare on the multiplies, but we'll see what the overall is. Missed 2 multiplies, and that was 13 mil. We gained about 2 mil. 100% strap, that was a pretty bad one. 100% strap, you'll probably do 15 mil in that cycle, 30 mil at gold, with 100% strap, Rhonda's jacket. But it does make a big difference, 2 to 3 mil probably at minimum. So that's the first build. Next one, this would have been amazing at silver. I actually really, really like this one because it's super simple and efficient, and it's pretty fun. But at gold, it doesn't translate as well because it's very like DDP moveset because you got the countdown gems, right? So we're going to put the finisher in, 10 MP finisher, 818k damage, decrease your countdown gem timers by 1. Sit out Jawbreaker, 7 MP red, 371k damage, 30 random into 1 turn countdowns that deal 189k damage and make 2 random gems into red at the end of the turn. We don't have any coaches or trainers that increase the damage here. So that's unfortunate. If we ever get those, a lot of these will be very interesting because some of them have pretty big damage. But 189k times 30 gems, that's doing 6 million damage just when the countdowns go off. And then increase your green gem or green MP by 7. So with a 20% strap, this is not going to look super great. I can already tell you that. But the strap also doesn't make a huge difference because we're only blowing up the board once, right? So a finisher goes up to 1.2 million if we use Anvil for green finishers. This is red gems in Priest, and then red gems in Bulldog, 45% and 2 red MP, and then Butch. So that gets you loaded for feud. And this is very simple gameplay. of course, you can put a Z plate or Jade plate for this build. And Jade plate would be the better one, especially at gold, but gameplay loop is super simple. Countdowns go out, then you hit this and fill your MP, and you can see our finisher is going to do 2.7 million, and then we're going to do that 5.6 million in countdown gem damage, so that's like 8.3, 8.5 mil, and then the gem damage on top of it. Oh, we crit too, so a little bit better. And the gem damage was 4 million, and we did 12 million total. And he kicked out. So you can see with a 20% strap and without anything also at silver, this won't get it done. You're going to need to add, like, stuff. But the gameplay loop is great. Of course, you could put Judgment Day plate on with this build, since it's a really easy recycle, and then just have a good time for days, because every turn you're going to drain their MP. I mean, that's really, honestly, very entertaining for me. And because the gameplay loop is so simple, and I really like Miz, I might actually be inclined to do that. Anyway, when we put the 100% strap on, I will run that again, because I'm also curious. So, and I don't have any place I actually use my Jade Plate currently. So Jade Plate, whenever you make 6 or more countdown gems, increases your red gem damage by 100%. And we were doing like 4 mil gem damage before that. Went to 5.2 mil gem damage, and it was enough that he actually couldn't kick out. We only gained 1.2. So, like, extrapolating that out with 100% strap, he's probably going to do about 6 million gem damage at silver, 12 million at gold. So that, like, cycle, the whole cycle is basically at gold will do about 20 million is all, which is unfortunate because that's really fun to me, right? So anyway, just not quite there. So you would absolutely need a Judgment Day plate to reliably run that, and then you're going to have to loop it a few times. But that is entertaining if you're not in a huge hurry. And finally, this is going to be his best set, in my opinion. It's very comparable to Cody. And this is where, like, I would say he's... And also, I kind of like that a lot of the superstars are really close now. I don't like it when especially now that we have a new tier, I don't like it when power creep explodes, like, huge right away. I'd rather have choices where you can use who you like and who maybe you have better stuff for. Anyway, there's a few glaring differences, though, because Cody is kind of who I'll compare him to with this. So the move you haven't seen is a half Nelson neckbreaker, 635k damage, and choose 4 gems to make into snowfalls. And this you'll get to see the hardcore move in effect too. We're going to do like 1.2 million extra damage and stuff. And it modifies all gems below it into strength 4 when broken by you. Entourage for this one, we're going to use New Brett just because I want to. 35% yellow is what we care about. There's also 35% multiply, which doesn't fit in the text. Gunther, Kofi, and Braun. The one big difference is that Cody is 6 MP. So Cody can use Sherry and buff his multiply gems by 4, which is massive. And Miz cannot unless he has a middle line bonus. So that's definitely one strike against Miz. And this is, again, a 20% strap. Jade Plate isn't going to do anything here. We also do have a class advantage, so it's more like a 45% strap. And the problem with this is, same problem Cody has, is that you can cascade. 4 snowfall gems. If you have Acro Snoop, you put him in as a coach and you get a 5th one. That's definitely going to be more damage. Acro Snoop is super rare, so I'm not using him in this initial build set. And there you see the issue right there. When you cascade, most of the time your opponents are going to wipe out a lot of the board, and this is where you're at. This is also why the other one that changes multiplies into yellow is inferior, big time, right? Because if it does, you don't hit nearly as much damage, whereas Miz here is going to easily recycle even if they blow up the board. So when things go wrong. And the difference, so Cody, that can happen too, and then he doesn't have the spam, so he could potentially have issues. But the difference is Cody makes countdowns, so you can offset that by using a Judgment Day plate and keep him safe. Whereas Miz, you can't really keep safe. Similar to CM Punk, where CM Punk, if he cascades, you're kind of just, you know, gonna take it a little bit on the face, right? There's no plates you can get to counteract that at the moment. And so that would be the downside on like Miz versus Cody. But if you don't have a Judgment Day plate, that's not a factor, right? So anyway, this is what he'd hit with a 20% strap right here. It's not going to be impressive. 15 mil at silver is solid. That's without like plate help and that stuff. So now that we've done that, let's keep the 20% on and put the Nightmare plate on because that gives 100% boost. And then I'll put 100% strap on with the Nightmare plate. Whenever you make 6 or more multiply gems, increase your yellow gem damage by 100%. Of course, if you don't get New Brett, you can also use Mherex. And you could also use Zombie Sammy for 30% yellow gem damage. But Snoop would be great because an extra snowfall. Anyway, this is 20% strap with the Nightmare plate. $654K on the yellows, by the way. This is actually a terrible board. We only have 2 yellows, so we're gonna miss some for sure. Yeah. So that was 17 mil. Again, not super impressive, right? Yet with a 20% strap. Okay. Let's put the 100 on. Because I think I have like myself personally have, and obviously there's RNG and then spending and stuff too. I think I have 3 100% tech modern straps that actually, I for sure have 2. They definitely are not as hard as some of them, or haven't been as hard, so. Let's climb the ladder, as it were, here. Wait, was that 100 up here? I don't want to go by it. Oh yeah, we're not using that. We don't use that. There we go. And I will do it with and without Snoop, and then I will do a middle line where you can use Sherry as well. Nightmare plate, go on. The KO plate's not going to do anything, so I'm not going to bother taking it off. It's doing absolutely nothing for this. Entourage is good. All right, let's do this. And I didn't really call out the hardcore move here. That's because it does very, very little. It's like 1.2 million here. And then with this, like 1.7 million, it's definitely not huge. It's not nothing, but it's not huge. But it's not as impactful as most hardcore moves. It's not enough to like be like, oh, Miz is your powerhouse killer, right? 770, up from that, what was it, 650 something? So basically 100k more per gem. And the fact that these stay 5 hurts him versus Cody comparison. So 21 million, much more respectable. Much more respectable. But that goes to basically going to go to 42 million at gold, and that's gonna not always keep people down, right? So I do think you need more than just that. So let's put Snoop on and get an extra column. Let's leave Brett and put Snoop. Have I tried it with Snoop on this one? I don't know if I even tried it yet. Nah, I don't think I did. Because I don't have Snoop, so I'm not really curious for me. Obviously, one more column is much better, though. Significantly better, as it were. So Snoop gives you that 5th snowfall. It also makes the hardcore do a little bit more. Still 683, but you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more multiply gems. Missed a couple of them. 23 mil. Still only 46. So basically, Cody hits harder. And has the Judgment Day plate. Not significantly harder, but has the Judgment Day plate option. And most of it is because he can hit. Cody is not without issues, though, too, because sometimes his countdowns can overlap. His countdown multiplies, so there is that. So middle lane. If you have a middle lane, then it would look like this, and you would need Santa. This has a Super Santa on it, so that skews it a little bit, for sure. But it's nothing I can do about it. It is what it is. So you'll want to take a little bit off for the Super Santa versus whatever Santa you have. So this would be with a middle lane, 100% strap, class advantage. This is a lot, so not super realistic ish. And of course Snoop would add even more, but I'm not going to bother with Snoop again. Times 8, 100, yeah, 1.23 million. So that's a fairly big increase. We only missed one, and you can see that's 35 million, and then you'd hit for 70, and you're going to take most people out with a middle lane, Sherry, a crap ton of stuff, right? That's a crap ton of stuff. Big Santa. So that's very comparable to Cody, other than the No Judgment Day plate thing. Very, very comparable. Okay. Oh yeah, I promised one more thing, mainly because it's interesting for those that want to just cycle and drain MP. I have a buddy that like loves all of the MP drain plates. He it makes him cackle with glee to just hit people and drain them. And then the harder they hit while doing that, the better. He loves overkill like that. So, well, let's just try it with a jade plate for fun, since I like Miz. Oh, where are you? You look like a purple heart. And you know what? After this, I'm not, you obviously can run this with a seance. I'm not doing that, but I will put a sheriff's badge on for 1, 2, because this is fast. And for all of the true Ms. marks out there, this is also Mherex proof, so that's obviously why I like it. In case you wanted to run sheriff's badge, because it's more available than a JD plate. But here you go. Let's see the gem damage. 7.2 million. That would go to 15. It's a 2-cycle win. Probably. 3-cycle. 2 or 3-cycle win. Is entertaining, though. For me. And then we'll talk about where Miz ranks. I can start talking about it now, actually. I feel pretty comfortable with techs. So, at gold, I think techs change a lot. My best tech is absolutely gonna be Kaiser with drip. I think, but drip is a problem in and of itself. But it's fast, it's Mherex proof, and it hits really hard, right? So after that, I probably would say Dusty. Dusty can hit hard. I don't have him yet, so I don't have a great breakdown on him from everything I've heard from the people that I trust that use Dusty. I think Dusty would probably be second. And then CM Punk, Cody with Judgment Day plate, kind of 3, 4 in there. Also, and I can't confirm this because I haven't, but I guess Razor with Gear and Moment is doing really well at gold, but I need to look into that more, so take that with a grain of salt right now. I'll see about messing around with that because I need to get an idea of how that is. Since the Moment's readily available now. Gear not so much, but and then I think the Miz would go behind them. Damage output can be good. He also has some nice boss battle versatility. He can break a red shield, he can break a yellow shield. For yellow multiply boss, he'll be solid. So I do like him for boss battle, especially in the defensive slot. New Rock, Final Boss Rock can also do the yellow shield. So defensive is getting some more solid options. So Sheriff's Badge, now it's 9 million gem damage, 18 at 18 at gold, and then the other nonsense going on. So it's probably 26, 27 mil is all. Anyway, that's kind of the techs, right? And that's where they fit. I'd put Miz in a solid, I guess that makes him what? Hall of Fame Anvil with gears, maybe can still get it done. That's kind of borderline for me, though. So I'd probably put Miz solidly right behind Cody and Punk, but Dusty certainly ahead of potentially Razor with gear. And but my pick is Kaiser with drip for the best. But the thing I was saying really is like Miz is certainly usable, which I think is good. I don't mind a cluster of people that are fairly close, and who's better, it depends on what you have. I don't think we need like massive power creep. The value a lot of times to me is in the trainers and stuff. And I think this is going to be a useful coach, a strong coach when it's needed, for sure with the 100% snowfall. Anyway, let me know what you think. Hopefully you enjoy the month and the chase and the video. Yeah, again, let me know what you think. What could I have done better? Thanks for watching, everybody, and good luck out there. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Do it. Do it now. Please.